We discussed about the temperature distribution in case of cylinder and sphere in the last lecture. So now I am going to discuss a problem on cylinder with insulation. There can be many cases where this is very important. For example, if we are passing steam at high temperature and pressure through a pipeline, there could be the loss to the surroundings. We need to have insulated pipelines so that heat loss can be reduced. So it's a problem related to that particular area, but insulation may be required at many other places also. So let us see what is the numerical problem. Asbestos insulation, for which thermal conductivity value is 0.2 kilocalories per hour meter degree Celsius, is put on a steel pipe 1.6 centimeter inner diameter, 2 centimeter outer diameter. Hot water at 90 degrees Celsius is flowing through the pipe and the heat transfer coefficient is 500 kilocalories per hour meter square degree Celsius. So basically this is the value of the HI, that is heat transfer coefficient, inside heat transfer coefficient. From the outer surface, heat is being lost by natural convection to the surrounding air at 30 degree and the heat transfer coefficient is 10 kilocalories per hour meter square degree Celsius. So it is the value of H naught. Calculate the heat loss per meter length of the pipe for insulation thickness 0, 0.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 centimeter. For every case, calculate heat transfer per meter length. So basically this is the question, and on the right hand side you can see the diagram here. The diagram shows that inside we have the water here and it is maintained at 90 degrees Celsius. So I think it's written here the inside temperature is 90 degrees Celsius. The heat transfer coefficient here is 500 kilocalories per hour meter square degree Celsius, and then this is the steel pipe. So this is the steel pipe which is shown here, and its inside radius is R1. The outside radius of the steel pipe is R2, and then after that we have this insulation which have been put on this steel pipe, and outside we have air surrounding here, and the heat loss is taking place by natural convection. It's written here, it's the because of the natural convection that the heat is being lost to the surroundings. The outside temperature is 30 degrees Celsius and the outside heat transfer coefficient is 10 kilocalories per hour per meter square degree Celsius. The inside radius or the inner radius of the steel pipe is 0.8 centimeter, outer radius is 1 centimeter, and their thermal conductivities are also mentioned. Because it's a steel pipe, its thermal conductivity is shown as K1, and normally the value of thermal conductivity of steel is very high, though it is not mentioned in the question. And then we are given the thermal conductivity of the insulation also. Now actually we have to consider different thickness of insulation. Means the first case is when the insulation thickness is 0, that means there is no insulation. The second could be we are considering a insulation thickness of 0.5 centimeter, then 1 centimeter, then 2, 4, 3, 4, and 5 centimeter. And for each case, we have to calculate the value of heat transfer per meter length. So let us see how we can solve this numerical problem. If you see it here carefully, then how the heat transfer is taking place, let us try to understand. First of all, here we have the water inside the pipe. So from water to the steel pipe here, the heat transfer will take place because of convection. And then there will be conduction heat transfer within the steel pipe. From the steel pipe to the insulation, it will be once again conduction, and outside it will be by convection. So basically, initially the heat is being lost by the water to the steel pipe, then from within the steel pipe it is because of conduction, Then from the steel pipe to the insulation, it is once again because of the conduction, and from the surface of the insulation to the surrounding, it is because of convection. So basically, there are four resistances in this circuit which are in series actually. So uh, here, here are the various insulation thickness which is shown here. First, it is 0.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we have calculated the value of the thickness R3. R3 means this is the radius of the insulation, outer radius of the insulation. So it will be equal to 1 centimeter, which is equal to R2 when there is no insulation, then 1.5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and correspondingly area of the outer cylinder will be 2 by 3 L. And accordingly we have put all the values of R3 here because we are considering the length to be 1 meter. So here in this area calculation, this value of L can be taken as 1 meter so that the heat transfer is calculated per unit length. Now what you can see here is we have uh, four resistances. I will make the resistances here once again. This is the first resistance here, then we have the second resistance, then third resistance, then fourth resistance. So here this resistance will be 1 over HI AI. The second resistance will be log natural R2 by R1 divided by 2 pi K1 L. The third resistance will be log natural R3 by R2 divided by 2 pi K2 L. And finally the outside resistance, which is because of the convection, it would be 1 over H naught A naught. And this the first resistance is because of the heat transfer from water to the cylinder surface, and it is convection. The second resistance is the conduction resistance in the steel pipeline. Third, it is the insulation resistance, and the outside it is the convection resistance. And the temperature here is, you can say, Ti, here it is T1, here it is T2, here it is T3, and outside it is T naught. So if we take the first case, that means if I am considering the first resistance, then I can always say that Ti minus T1 will be equal to Q upon Hi minus Ai. And how this equation has been written is shown here in this equation. We know that the heat transfer due to convection is given by Q dot is equal to HA delta T. And if I want to calculate the value of delta T, then it can be written as Q dot divided by HA. So you can see here, if I am considering this particular part, that is the convection resistance, so I can always write Ti minus T1 is equal to Q divided by HIAI based on this particular equation which is written here. And when we talk about the next resistance, which is the here, this is between T1 and T2, I can always write T2 minus T3 is equal to Q dot into log natural R2 by R1 divided by 2 pi K1 L. And this is based on this equation which is for the heat transfer through a cylinder, which is given by Q dot is equal to 2 pi KL delta T divided by log natural R2 by R1. So if I have to calculate the value of delta T here, then delta T will be given by Q dot into log natural R2 by R1 divided by 2 pi KL. So you can see it here. I have calculated or used this particular equation when I am calculating the value of T2 minus T3. Similarly, T3 minus T4 can be written in a similar manner. It would be equal to Q dot log natural R3 by R2 2 pi K2L, where K2 is the insulation thermal conductivity, and T4 minus T naught, it is the temperature difference for the convection resistance. So once again, it will be written in a similar manner as we have written the value of Ti minus T naught. So it will be equal to Q dot divided by H naught by H naught into A naught. Now what we can do is we can add all these temperature differences. So T1 and uh, I think there is some mistake here. It should be T1 minus T2. It should be T2 minus T3, and it should be T3 minus T naught. So when we will add it, so T1 and T1 will cancel out, T2 and T2 will cancel out, and T3 and T3 will cancel out, and we are left with Ti minus T naught, and this won't be here, it would be 1 actually. Okay, so Q can be taken, Q dot can be taken out of the bracket sign, and remaining we have these resistances, this one, and this one. These all are the resistances. So this value is actually nothing but it is the sigma R thermal. So this resistance is because of convection and conduction actually. And if you remember exactly, you should know that Q dot is actually given by delta T overall divided by sigma R thermal. So you can see whatever we are getting the expression above is the based on this particular expression only, which is written here. Okay, so it's clear to us. This is one way of calculating the heat transfer in this particular case. Other way could be directly writing these resistances as I have shown here uh, in this circuit, and then we can directly follow this particular equation, and then we can calculate the value of Q dot. So you can see here I have shown all the resistances. This is the convection resistance, then conduction resistance in the steel pipe, then this is the conduction resistance in the of the insulation, and then this is the convection resistance. So, and based on this equation which is written here, we can always calculate the value of Q dot, which is given by this expression. So this we have derived earlier also. So both are different ways and can be used here. So this is the final value of the Q dot. So having calculated the value of Q dot, I can calculate the values of heat loss per unit length. Now, one more important thing that I would like to tell here is this is the conversion from 1 kilocalorie per hour meter square degree Celsius to watt per meter square degree Celsius. So this is how we can go about it. We can, if it is 1 kilocalorie, then it would be equivalent to 1.16 watt per meter square degree Celsius. Okay. Now, once again, same equation is written here. Now, I would like to give you some idea about this particular thing, that how the heat loss is going to vary exactly. Okay, from so I need to calculate this particular value. Now, what has been written here is, since K1 is very large, means because it's a steel, it's a metal actually, so for it the thermal conductivity is value is very large, so the thermal resistance due to steel pipe can be neglected. So basically we can neglect this particular value. Even if you will not neglect it, it will not make much difference, and the value of the heat transfer will come out to be nearly same whether we consider this resistance or don't consider this particular resistance actually. So here what we have done, we have neglected this particular value. Yes, I wanted to tell you something. Now if you see it here, see this particular expression here. Now, this particular expression, if I see, now you can say this value Ti minus T naught, this is a constant term, because if we are given with the inner temperature as 90 degree and outer temperature as 30 degrees Celsius, so this is going to remain constant. Now, R1 is the inside radius of the steel pipe. Uh, so, what will happen in this particular case? So, this whole quantity is also constant. This has already been neglected. This part has already been neglected, so forget about this, though it was also a constant value. Now you see this term and this particular term. So what you find here, this part is a constant. Similarly here, this part is a constant. Now this is R3 here, and this is R3 here. Okay, so we have two terms. In one term, this term, if you will see it here, it is log natural R3 by R2. Okay, okay, if I say this is C1, this is C2, and this is C3 constant, and let us say this is C. So the value of Q dot per unit length can be written as uh, C, uh, okay, so divided by you can see it will be uh, C1 plus C2 plus C3. So let us forget about this because it's a constant value. It is not going to change. This is C2. C2 is log natural R3 by R2 divided by 2 pi K2 plus 1 over H naught. This is C3. H naught 2 pi R3. So you can see here this value of R3 is in the numerator, whereas this value of R3 is in the denominator. So what will happen if I will increase the value of R3 from 0 to say 5 centimeter? This value, this value will increase, whereas this value will go down. So naturally, what will happen to the heat transfer rate per unit length? It will, it may increase and decrease depending upon the value of the R3. So I hope this is clear to you. That means the conduction resistance is increasing, whereas the convection resistance is decreasing when the R3 value or the thickness of the insulation or the radius of the insulation is increasing actually. So this is very, very important point. So let us see. After telling you this, now this is these are the various values of thickness. So when I am taking thickness of the insulation as 0 and I am calculating the value of Q by L, it comes out to be 36.78 watt per meter. If I take 0.5 centimeter, the value comes out to be 42.15. Then I take 1 centimeter insulation thickness, the value comes out to be 43.25. Take 2, the value comes out to be 41.54 watt per meter. Take it as 3, the value comes out to be 38.94. Take it as 4, the value comes out to be 36.61. Take it as 5, the value of Q by L comes out to be 34.66 watt per meter. So you can see here, here I have made a table, and this is the you can say value of R3. So it is the radius of the insulation basically, and this is the thickness of the insulation Ti, you can say, and this is the value of heat transfer per meter. So you can see what is happening in this particular case. I can say that the heat transfer is 36.78, then it increases. Here also it is increasing, but after between 2 and 3 it starts going down now. Okay, so what type of curve do you get? You can see it here. This is the type of the curve that you can find. So at 1 centimeter thickness, it is the maximum value, and this is the value of thickness of insulation. This is the thickness of the insulation, and this is the radius of the insulation. So when the thickness is 0, radius is of insulation is 1, and at this value it is equal to R2 only, because when the insulation thickness is 0, then R3 is equal to R2 only. And so this is the value of radius of insulation, and this is the value of thickness actually. And you can see how it is varying. It is going like this, going up to a maximum value and then coming down. And it is because, as I have already told you, because there is one resistance which is increasing, whereas the one resistance is decreasing. So this was the resistance which is increasing, and the convection resistance was decreasing, and it is because of this the total resistance changes in the denominator part, and hence the value of heat transfer heat transfer per unit length first increases and then decreases. So this is the graph, as you can see, and here you can see it is at 1 centimeter thickness of the insulation. This value is the value of the heat transfer is maximum. This is actually Q by L. So this is maximum when the thickness of the insulation is 1 centimeter or the radius of the insulation is 2 centimeter. So that means there must exist some critical value. Basically, this the point where this value of heat loss is coming out to be maximum. This value of radius and thickness is the critical value. So this critical value can be said as RC. RC means critical radius of insulation, and it could be TC also, means it is the critical thickness of insulation. Hmm. So let us see how we can calculate this critical value. Right now we have attempted to see this result by varying the thickness of insulation and then finding out, but we can also take the help of the differential calculus to find out at which point or at which value of the thickness of insulation or at which radius of the insulation the heat loss is maximum. So if you see this particular expression which is given here, this is the value of q dot and it is equal to, this is the overall temperature difference. This is the overall temperature difference, and here we have the convection resistance. This is the conduction resistance of the insulation, and this is the convection resistance. So here we have actually neglected the what you call the conduction resistance of the steel pipe, because that value is actually very small actually, because the value of k is very large. So as I told you earlier also, this value is a constant, but here the R3 is varying. Here this A naught is given by 2 pi R3L. So basically if you see in this expression of Q naught, R1 is constant, R2 is constant, length is constant, delta T or Ti minus T naught is constant, Hi is constant, H naught is constant, whereas the radius R3 of insulation is only variable. So there is some value of R3 for which heat transfer is maximum, such that dq dot divided by R3 will be equal to 0 at this particular point. So once again I have written this value of q dot, and then here we have calculated the value of dq by dr3, and this is what you get. You can try this differentiation yourself. I have done it here. And finally, after doing this differentiation here, we can put it equal to 0, so that we can find the value of R3 corresponding to which we get the maximum value of the heat loss. So from this expression we can solve it, and after solving, what do you find is that the value of R3 comes out to be K2 by H naught. Now RC is equal to Ki by H naught, because K2 is nothing but it is the thickness of insulation only, thermal conductivity of the insulation, and H naught is the film coefficient of the outside air. It is also known as heat transfer coefficient of the outside fluid. Okay, and this R3 is nothing but this is the critical value of the radius of insulation. So we call it as RC. So it is critical radius of insulation. So this is the value of the critical radius of insulation, and corresponding to this value, we will get the critical radius of insulation. Now you can also calculate this value for the previous case using the value of the insulation, thermal conductivity, and the outside heat transfer coefficient, and try to find out what is the exact value of the critical radius. So let us see what was the value of yeah, if you can see here, it is the 0.2 is the value of the Ki critical thermal conductivity of the insulation, and outside heat transfer coefficient is 10. So zero point 0.2 divided by 10. So the value of RC should be equal to Ki divided by H naught. So the value comes out to be 0.2 divided by uh, 10. So it should be equal to 0.02 meter, which is equal to 2 centimeter. So we can see this particular graph here. uh, yes, you can see here at a radius of 2 the heat loss is maximum. So that means our analysis is correct. So you can see it here. This is the insulation resistance, insulation radius at 2 centimeter, and here the value is coming out to be maximum. So what is the importance of it actually? Let us try to understand that. What are the conclusions in this particular case? Heat transfer rate from the cylindrical surfaces increases by addition of insulation increase in the outer radius up to a certain value of critical radius, up to a certain value which is actually known as critical radius. At this value of critical radius of insulation, the heat transfer rate by conduction is maximum. Heat transfer rate by conduction is maximum, and actually if you will see whether it is the heat transfer by conduction or convection, it would be same actually, and it is written here, it is equal to heat transfer by convection at the surface, because whatever the heat is lost because of conduction, that should always be equal to heat loss because of convection, because the circuit is a series circuit actually. Heat transfer rate decreases if the further insulation is applied to the surface beyond critical radius. Therefore, in case of pipes, the outside radius of pipe after applying insulation is kept greater than RC. So it means if this is a pipe which is carrying say some fluid either at very low temperature or at very high temperature, so either T is very large or T is very low, and we want to maintain these temperatures, then we need to apply the insulation. And what we will do, this insulation thickness here, this the value of R3 should be greater than RC value, so that the heat loss actually is reduced. Okay, so larger the value of R3, lower will be the heat loss. Simultaneously, there is another case where we would like to keep the thickness of the insulation equal to the critical radius. So we would like that R3 is equal to RC in certain cases, like in case of current carrying conductors and wires, it is kept lower or equal to RC so as to dissipate maximum amount of heat. Because in case of cables and conductors or wires, what happens, there is a heating effect produced which is given by I square RT. So when it is this heat is produced, there is a chance that the material of the conductor may melt, so we would like to dissipate the maximum amount of the heat from the conductor. So this is uh, very much important there, that the critical radius of insulation should be equal to the critical radius. Right now we have discussed about the case of cylinder, and one more thing I would like to tell you, as I told you that the value of RC is equal to Ki divided by H naught. This is the case of cylinder. Okay, you can go for the units also. If I write the units of Ki, it is watt per meter Kelvin, and H naught, the units are watt per meter square Kelvin. So this cancels out, this and this cancels out, and we get meter. So you can also remember the formula using the dimensional analysis, and similar relationship or the similar value of critical radius can also be calculated for spheres. So I give you it as an assignment. So the value in this particular case will come out to be 2 times Ki divided by H naught. Okay, so you can do this particular derivation. Thank you.